Basketball is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. And as your continued source for all sports wager information, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's NFL, NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your rewards. It's BetOnline, where the game starts. Tell them the Noisemaker sent you.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
You're now listening to BLEAV in the ACC with Heisman Trophy winner and Florida State legend, Mr. Charlie Ward, Wave 3 TV, and Fern Creek Hall of Famer, Kendrick Haskins, and Mr. Talking Noise himself, and of course Mama Noise's name, Lloyd Smith. And now, it's time for BLEAV in the ACC.
It is not often, it's not ever that we have an undefeated head coach on our podcast. But this fine holiday season, we have been given the gift of the only undefeated head coach in Louisville history. Uh-oh, he's pointing at us like okay.
Does he need to restart?
I was gonna say you may have to go out and come back in.
I'll text him.
Yeah, text him, go out and come back in. But the guy that's gonna go out and come back in is an undefeated head coach.
And he's a Super Bowl champion.
And he's the only
and a Super Bowl MVP.
I was gonna say, to my knowledge, he is the only undefeated head coach, Super Bowl MVP, and Super Bowl champion in the history, and FBS winning head coach in the history of college football.
He is the first Super Bowl MVP to coach a FCS school, FCS bowl game. He is that.
That's pretty exciting, man.
And he's 1-0. How about that?
And he's 1-0. Listen, if you're gonna retire from being a head coach, retire undefeated.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Go out on top.
I had a buddy I used to battle with on Madden. I beat him on a 99-yard touchdown at the end of the game, and I never played him again.
Never played him again. Never played him again. You know why? Because he's got to hold that L for the rest of his life. And I'm not even mad at you about that. While we wait on Deion to return, Coach Junior, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. We won our game yesterday, so.
But are you undefeated though? That's the real question. Are you undefeated?
No.
Well, see, the best you can do is just win another state championship.
All right.
That's it. That's the ceiling.
I live with that.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Fair
Fair enough. Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. The great Deion Branch, head coach Deion Branch is in the building. The champ is here.
Yeah.
I mean, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. Other than that, I was trying to get some sleep, man. You guys waking me up at 9 to do this interview.
We did.
My guy Kendrick, I texted him. I was hoping he would tell me, yeah, this is just a phone call. He said, no, Deion, did you not get the email?
No. we want we listen. We like to see our undefeated head coaches up close and personal.
Yeah, we gotta see your face.
Yes.
I could have did this interview from the bed if it was on the phone.
Listen, when you single-handedly stamp a program the way that you have, sir, you can pretty much do what you want to do at this point.
Man.
Like it's you got a lot of Louisville fans walking around that city going, that's our coach. That's our coach.
Yeah, I got the chest out.
Lord, hey, listen, man, it was fascinating to be in that seat, man, for like 2 weeks. I told my wife, man, I might can get used to this. She looked at me.
No, you won't.
We're not even doing I don't know what you're talking about.
She shut that down.
Shut that down quick.
Okay.
She shut that down as soon as you got the interim job, right?
Yeah. Kendra, I didn't tell the story, but I'll tell you guys the full story. She was taking a shower and brushing my teeth as I was getting prepared to head down. She was super quiet, didn't say much. And then as I was leaving, I kissed her like, all right, baby, I'll see you later today. She said, all right, good, love you. Make sure you tell Josh he had 2 weeks. That's it. Don't try that funny stuff. I'm like, where did this come from? Out of the whole morning, she was super excited. The kids were all over the place. They were excited. Yeah. And then she just yells at me like, hey, let him know he has 2 weeks. She said, I'll text him right now and let him know. Bro, my wife is crazy.
What we're not going to do is hold on to these head coaching dreams. All that down as quick as possible.
Right now.
So, Deion, what were you doing? I'm not sure where you were, but what were you doing before you got the call to be the head coach for Bowl?
Yeah, Charlie, bro, we were sitting. I know. My daughter and I was over. She was getting her shots, her allergy shots. So it all started around 8:30, just out of nowhere. Miss Robin, one of our secretaries in the office, who does a phenomenal job with these young men. She called me with this irate, like, can you believe this? And I'm like, what's up? My phone is still on do not disturb, except for everybody, the main guys in the office. She was able to get through. And here I am. I'm in the allergies. So I'm not worried about no news and all this other mess. She said, Coach Satterfield took the job. I said, took what job? She said, the Cincinnati job. And I was like, what? I'm like, hold on. We play Cincinnati in 2 weeks in a bowl. He took the job to Cincinnati. She was pissed. So I was like, oh, okay, Miss Robin, guess what? Now it makes sense because Josh, who's the director of operations, who was like Coach Satterfield's right-hand man, he had been calling him the night before all day. No answer. He was calling Satterfield's wife. No answer. And Josh even called me. He was like, Deion, call Coach Satterfield. I said, Josh, if he didn't answer for you, what makes you think what makes you think that? Like, come on, let's talk in our terms now. Just call him. I call him, no answer. So the day before, Charlie, nobody could reach Coach Satterfield. So that made sense. Now, moving forward, I initially just thought that B. Brown will be next on the list. Coach Brown, the defensive coordinator.
Right. He's not there either, probably.
That's what I'm saying. So the crazy part, when that did happen, Coach Brown reached out to me because he knows I have a very, very good relationship. And he's like, hey, you make sure, Coach, he said, make sure Hurd understands and knows that I want the actual opportunity to lead the team. I said, Coach, I got you. I will put your name. I said, you end up anyway. Boom, boom, boom. Long story short, I was driving and taking my youngest daughter to school. Josh calls. I got him on speakerphone, and he overhears everything. You know, these kids nowadays, they just on the phone. They don't.
But they hear everything.
But they hear.
Right.
And he called. He was like, "Yeah, you know, Coach Satterfield, I couldn't come to terms. And I got a question I want to ask you. I mean, it's going to be off the wall."
Pretty little off the wall.
Hey, what you talking about? Not one time did I think this, Charlie. He was like, "Yeah, hey, would you consider being an interim?" I said, "What?" I look over at my daughter because I'm gonna be honest with you. These are the type of things that you don't want your kids to hear. Right. The excitement that she had from initially hearing that, and my heart just fell because I'm like, you know what? If I accept it, I'll my wife and kids the next 2 weeks because I understand the amount of work that these guys put in.
Right.
She's excited, but she don't understand. Like, you're not going to be daddy for 2 weeks, honey. If I okay this, but she was like, "Daddy, yeah." She's like, "Take it, Daddy. Yes, this is fun." And I'm looking at her like, "No."
Like, no.
And he said, "Deion, I want you to really consider it." I said, "Look, Coach," I said, "Josh, I truly appreciate it." I said, "Look, I really was thinking that Coach Brown truly deserved this. Not only him, we have 9 other assistant coaches." For the pro job. Man, I appreciate you guys thinking of me to put me that. And the first thing he said out of his mouth after I said everybody's qualified except me, he was like, "Hey, I really want you to consider this. Take some time, call your wife." It's like he wasn't taking note.
Wow.
"I need you to call your wife. I need you to sit down with them and talk." He said, "You can let me know later today. We don't have to make a crazy, quick, emotional decision, Deion. It doesn't have to be that. Take some time." I'm like, "Josh, other guys are actually qualified for this role." And so moving forward, I say about 2 hours later, man, Charlie, I hung up the phone with him. I told him I'd give him a call back. I called my wife. Like, real talk, I'll be honest with you guys. Man, it was so many emotions. My body's chief. I had to pull over after I dropped my daughter off because I was holding everything in.
Yeah.
And everything just flowed out me like, here it is. I went to this university. I love this city. The community has embraced me. And now these guys are asking me to lead this entire football team on the football field in 2 weeks. I thought that was probably one of the greatest feelings ever. That's almost like you getting asked to go back to Florida State, Charlie, and just lead your guys out. You follow what I'm saying? I think that was the most humbling thing for me, man. And, you know, I couldn't breathe when I called my wife and told her, I'm like, "Look, the guy, Josh, just offered me the interim job just to lead the guys." And she was like, "Baby, it's great. You deserve it." And everybody's telling me I deserve it. And I'm like, no, why not?
Except for the other 9 guys.
I was just a player development guy yesterday, and now I'm it's a beautiful thing, though, man. But that's a whole rundown. I gave y'all a whole rundown.
Wow, that's great, man. Listen, man.
How often do you see the director of player development lead the team onto the field?
It doesn't happen that often. From what I can tell, it's not really a thing.
Never. That's and then guess what? A week later, we see Drew Brees coming out of nowhere. Like,
right, copycatting. Get the original idea, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, man. You know, it was a special day, man. You know, like I said in the press conference, Deion Sanders was hired. 2 days later, I was hired. And then Drew Brees, about a week later, players, man. Charlie, you're next. So get ready.
Oh, no.
Well, it feels like you guys got Deion Sanders a little bit because the rumor was, if you trust the rumors, that Deion was being considered also for that Cincinnati, or that Cincinnati, he was considering Cincinnati as one of his options. So it was kind of a snowball effect when Satterfield took the job. So that was an interesting turn of events. So you didn't know you were so closely linked to Deion Sanders, I'm sure.
Man, look here, didn't know it at all. At all. And the crazy part, you know, we can always go back and kind of put things together and try to, you know, Deion probably would have been in the runnings for us had he not taken that job. You get what I'm saying? Prior to Coach Satterfield making that move. Who knows?
Yeah.
They're sure that, you know, Brum is the guy, and they selected Brum. But had Primetime been available, I think he would have been in the runnings.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't no telling what this would have looked like.
Oh my goodness. The fever pitch. Goodness gracious. Well, first of all, before we get to the new administration, let's talk about what you did, man.
Yeah.
That was an incredible game. And it's kind of amazing to me because you guys leaned on the defense the second half of the season heavily. And man, that defense showed up in a big way in that bowl game. What talk a little bit about their performance, and then also their run game, man. It just they were incredible.
Hey Lord, I to be all the way real with you, I told the guys even before the game, you know, that was my message all week. You know, the game is won.
Can we just stop there for just a second and talk about the fact that Deion had a message for him all week? That's cool. All right.
All week. Hey, all week.
That's my message.
My Lord was listen. The game is won, fellas. It's just all about how bad are we going to beat these guys. You kind of get what I'm saying? I'm setting the tone right away with these players.
Yeah.
You know, as a coach, and here's some of the things that worked when I was playing. You got to speak this stuff. And you have to go out, then you go out and practice and you perform. Trust me, it works. These young men had a lot of stuff thrown at them over the past 2 weeks. You know, coaches, we'll be sitting in a meeting night, and I spoke about this. Coaches going in the portals, is players going in the portals. You just don't know what's going on, man. In the staff, Satterfield is gone. I'm in the staff meeting this week. Coaches, all the coaches got their phones out. Phones are ringing all the entire meeting. They picking up the phone, stepping out of the meeting. Hey, next thing you know, somebody walk in. Hey, Deion, I need to see you outside. Hey, I'm job down, bro. We in here trying to get the staff together, leaving too. So on and so forth. That happened 7 times.
Wow.
Within 3 days, I had 20 guys in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I convinced 20 young men to come back and just trust the process. No, sorry, I convinced about 16, 17 of them. The other 3 stayed. It's just like, no, stay in. And I understand that. It's just so much going on. But they got to understand the coaches are actually leaving to do something other than what you're doing. You're thinking about just going in the portal because you're coach. Your coach is leaving because he's thinking about his family and taking care of his family.
Right.
You have a future son.
Right.
Jumping in the portal because your coach is leaving is not the answer. But once I convince these guys now that I'm trying to mentally get guys to lock in. And then from that point, trying to assemble a staff. So much stuff going on. I'm like, this is not a typical head coach's week. It just happens.
No.
But then, you know, like you said, Lord, just to get on the football field, once I had the guys mentally, the first day, the problem is we had to get to practice. The thing, Coach Satterfield left on a Saturday night, early Sunday. Monday morning is when the stuff hit the news.
Right.
I was elected interim the same day, but we don't practice it. Our first practice was Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Guys mentally, and they googly-eyed it the entire week until we get to practice. Once I get a safe haven, they'll be fine.
Right.
And we practice on Tuesday, it would have been a whole lot better.
Right.
Yeah, because you could have just walked right into it. Yeah.
It would have been fine. But once we got to practice, man, it was great. The guys, you can see the kids flying around.
Oh, man.
All the coaches, man, those guys did an amazing job constructing our game plan. I mean, we knew right away the defense, Ken will tell you, the defense held us together the entire season.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so when I did have that meeting with just the defense, I had a meeting with the offense. I did a whole full team meeting. I told these guys, you guys are going to be the ones who actually win this game. You get what I'm saying? It's either we're going to get to the quarterback and win, or we're going to allow this guy to kind of hit these big plays, because Cincinnati is huge on those big plays.
Mm-hmm.
If we give that up and don't get no sacks, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the game. Pretty much got the offense in the room and said the same exact thing to them. We got to be able to run the football. We have to be able to run the football. We got the line of scrimmage up front, offensive line, defensive line, and we did that.
Was there a moment when you were when Prater was being sacked and then threw that crazy pass to a guy who had only caught 2 passes all year, where you said to yourself, "This isn't for me"?
Because the first thing, listen, I'm gonna be honest. For me to have the headsets on, look, I've had the headsets on plenty levels. But this staff, when you're assembling, you got QCs and GA, and then you got 3-4 staff members who stay behind with you. This is some funny stuff. And when that busted play happened, my defense coordinator, Coach Mark Ivy, said every word.
I was thinking he had to, because everybody was like, "Who is this kid again? Like, where did he come from?"
I went off, and he wasn't going off on the guys. It was just more so like, we're better than that.
Right.
To do all of this, have this guy contained, to allow this guy to catch a 5-yard honey bun and score a touchdown. Like, come on, you got to be kidding. This is terrible. But that the kids didn't hear it, you know.
Right.
They settled down after that.
Yeah, they settled. I was gonna say, to that credit, they settled down and played an outstanding game. Yeah,
and that's what it's been all season. You know, I tell the guy, hey, look, and I told him before we went out, look, Cincinnati's gonna throw a lot of stuff at us early on, but once the game settles, this is when we'll take control, and that's what it was. I mean, early on the offense, we didn't do anything. We had a 3-and-out, and a turnover. Those first 3 possessions. Cincinnati's first 3 possessions was totally different, but our defense was doing their job.
Yeah.
Our next 3 possessions was touchdown.
Right.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ball game after that.
They're doing what they're doing. Now, the second half, that was the first half. The second half, we only had 3 points. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell you what's going on. Y'all was turning the ball over every time you came down.
One thing that, I was allowing the coaches because I told them, let's have fun. We're going to win the game. That's the main thing. But let's have fun with these young men. So we went to the well a little too much with a lot of those.
Having too much fun.
Basically, you started high stepping from the 30.
Correct. On the ball and do some goofy stuff. But the fact that we had that little cushion, 24/7, and I was like, okay, well, I'll let the guys kind of do this. I didn't override too much of it, but yeah.
But it feels like you had a feel.
Yes.
Feel of the game. I know as a coach, sometimes you can read the temperature of the game, and you have some wiggle room.
Correct.
Especially when you know your defense is shutting them down and they're not really moving the football. And so you probably were like, hey, we got a little wiggle room here. I mean, after it's 14-7, that's a little different.
Correct. There you go.
But 24/7, you probably reading the room like, hey, we got a little wiggle room. Our defense is playing well. They look like they can score. And I guess it doesn't hurt to have number 22 and number 6 on your team.
Oh, yeah. At all. I mean, trust me, those guys, man, they're difference makers. And they were 2 of the guys that were somewhat questioning playing in the bowl game. They didn't go in the portal.
Yeah.
But the week up, I mean, both of these guys are seniors. They talking to agents and everything.
Yeah.
Not saying talking to agents, but hearing the grumblings about them getting drafted.
Sure.
I don't want to jeopardize that. Playing it's a meaningful game, but to them, this is like, man. I mean, we're playing the family bowl, not littering the bowl game, but I don't want to mess this up for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And here it is going into that week. They both like, hey, I may not play. I may just go and just not playing the game. I said, look, and I had to make that. This is where the player development side, I had to remove myself from that and then also put on a head coach's cap or a coach's cap. Mm-hmm. And a hard conversation with 2 of our best players on the defensive side of the ball. And I hate to say this, but I had to. If you're not planning on playing, you can't go. Right. You can't. And these are my 2 leaders on the defensive side of the ball. And I fellas, I'm taking this very serious. if you can't just go out here and practice with the team, take the trip, and you tell me that you're not playing, just go and get all the bowl perks. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm super old school. Like,
Yeah.
even that.
No, that's good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
We're not doing that. And I said, look, bro, I love you guys, but let's not take these other guys reps, man. Let's let these guys, if you're not going to play, cool. Just come to practice, stand on the side. We're going to let these other guys get the reps in practice. You got to stay back. And they're not troublemakers. You know, I just want to set the precedent that, hey, if you're playing, if you're practicing, our thoughts are that you're playing and you're going on a bowl trip. But fellas, look here. Do not get on this plane if you got any intent of not playing the game. If you don't have no intent, listen, do not take this trip. And they all bought in. We couldn't even take those jokers off the field.
Wow.
And so it was more so the conversations I was having with these guys. Every day before in our team meeting, I addressed this situation that was going on. I just continued to hit on it.
Yeah. Wow.
Character, man. When you have things like this, that happens. Coaches get hired and fired all the time.
Right.
But it's just all about the relationship and the love you have for your team in the locker room. This is who you're doing it for. It's not, hey, the coaches are here. Yes, they're going to reap the benefits from it. But you're doing this with your brothers, man. And that's the only thing you guys need to worry about. Let's focus on who's in this locker room. That's it.
So Deion, I know we were in school. Like playing in a bowl game wasn't a big deal. I mean, like that's what you did. Like if you got an opportunity to go, your team got an opportunity to go to the bowl game. I mean, you played.
Right.
If you were playing, whether you were a senior or draft eligible or whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts on just the mindset of the 21st century student athlete to where, you know I saw it, about 4 years ago. I think Leonard Fournette, McCaffrey were like the first ones to kind of start. And when they did it, I knew it was going to be the next wave because they were high profile guys and what have you. And as soon as they did it, I knew it was going to continue in some form of fashion. And now there's transfer portal and, like you say, coaches and players, everybody jumping in the transfer portal. Yeah. What are your thoughts just on this 21st century mindset?
Hey, Charlie, yeah, we're in a danger zone. I promise you that. And they've increased the percentages of the kids with this mentality by adding this transfer portal and this NIL stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of get what I'm saying? And back in the day, man, we played the game. You listen, we were more so like fighting to get an extra game. Like, hey, bro, we got to win X amount of games to make it to a bowl game. These jokers now, like, hey, man, I'm out. The first moment that they hear that, oh man, I've been hearing I'm going second, third round. Right away. And don't let it be a kid who is coming off an injury. If the kid who had an injury the year before, he for sure is not playing in the bowl game.
Yeah.
And to certain instances, you can understand that. I don't these guys getting off on this because last time I checked, the more film you put out there, the better your chances. Right? The more eyes you get on you. That one particular day, last Saturday at 11 o'clock, we were the only team that was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe that every scout, I don't care what level the he's watching the game. Mm-hmm. And that one, you only need one team. And we don't have a team full of guys that's going first, second, third round. Now, let's
right.
Okay. Hey, Charlie, now, you on the other hand, I understand if you would say, hey, I'm not playing. You gotta understand that you are a baller. That's just what that was. That's understood.
Right.
The rest of you guys,
not really sure what you're doing. Yeah.
You're not in the bowl game.
Right.
Listen, son, you're not top 10. You're not top nothing. You're not even first. Okay. Let's increase your chances of you getting drafted higher. But to get your, I don't know what's going on. The NCAA has opened up this Pandora box without understanding the repercussion that it's going to deliver in the end. And, now they're slowly trying to backtrack, but it's almost like, what can you do? It's too late.
Right.
Too late. I pray and hope. I think what's going to happen first is it's going to get a little bit more It's going to get worse, and then it'll actually calm down. Because I think with this NIL stuff and with this transfer portal, the more guys you see in that portal, there's like 3,000 kids over there. Nobody's really getting picked up right now.
Right.
A lot of these programs are still understanding that you have to build through your high school. You have to build through your high school kids, and you may pluck a doggone a transfer here and there, just to kind of plug and play. That's not going to happen every time. I think what happened over at USC, they lost 53 guys or something, but still end up making it to the championship game.
Right.
That'll never happen again.
Right. Well, now look at them now. They got to totally rebuild after last season too.
Correct. Because all these guys are leaving.
Right. For
the most part, or everybody's chasing the dollar. See, that's the problem I'm caught up into now when you start to pluck these transfer guys. Everybody's chasing the I'm sitting in and I'm here to deal with it as a player development guy. I'm just trying to mentally get these guys to think about the NFL and not the NIL. That's the whole dynamic. The more and more that I can kind of push this on them. Look, I want these guys to come to school, get your education. But the end game is to go to the NFL, not to be playing for an NIL check. That's on maybe $5,000 or $10,000, which is good money to these kids. It's great. I spoke about it. I feel that the NCAA should have created a pool, like a revenue sharing amongst every team, where each guy equally gets something. Everybody's getting paid. We're not getting paid on the same scale, but we're getting paid.
Right.
In college, I'm doing the same work as this guy, putting in the same hours as this guy, but I haven't received anything. And that's going on with about 65% of our team. 75%, to be honest. There's only 15 guys on our team that's getting money.
Yeah.
The other remaining 105 kids are not getting anything. You know what I'm saying? And that creates an alliance amongst the players. You don't see it right away, but it's there.
Yeah.
Right.
You kind of get what I'm saying? These guys are starting to envy guys. They already don't know each other how they should. But that money stuff causes that. That causes grief and division amongst family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to your point about putting stuff on tape, I thought Yaya had one of the best sacks I've seen all season long in that fourth quarter. And I immediately started praying for Prater because I'm saying he may not recover from this. This is, my God, man.
Hey, listen, Lord, we did our press conference on, what was that, Kendra? What we did it Friday?
When you was down up in Boston?
Yeah, we did the Fenway press conference Friday.
Was it Friday or Thursday? I think it was Friday because I was in Omaha.
Okay. I think it was Friday. When that kid walked in, I said, this cannot be the quarterback. I feel so he was so I said, yo, I feel so bad because I know what this defense is about to do. But he's a tough kid. He's a real tough kid.
Very tough.
He's a good quarterback. Man, I know some times during that game, this brother felt like it was 12-13. Let me tell you, Coach Ivy, I'm on the headset, and Coach Ivy calling up all kind of blitzes.
If there's anybody on earth that could not wait for this opportunity, it was Coach Ivy, so he could blitz on every day.
You don't even have to be a football. You could just be a fan. If you listen to some of the defensive calls, if you hear something that's like you hear call, hey, tissue one. Okay, that ain't really nothing. You hear something say, hey, fellas, let's go Rattler. Bump it, let's go Rattler. Listen, you don't have to call everything. They break the house. Like it was third and like 7. This guy talking about Rattler. I was like, whoa. We're playing too good for you to give up this right here. I don't know what play they about to run, but I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
I told Coach, let's have fun, play ball. And look, he looked at me. You told me to do it, right? But it worked.
Yeah.
You got to get Coach Ivy on the show because he's a crazy person.
Man, I'm telling you, got to, bro.
That's awesome, man. Listen, that's where we were. Here's where we are now. The news broke this week, man. You're going to be sticking around for a little while, yeah?
Yeah. I'll be sticking around.
How's that feel?
Going
How's
back
that
to the
feel?
role.
Hey man, yeah, I'm going back. Well, he kind of, I sat down as soon as he took the job. When he came over to the facility, we sat down for about 20 minutes, and right away, this guy already tried to fill one of the coaching spots right away, and I shut it down. I respectfully shut it down. When the coach asked me, so yeah, man, what you want to do? The same thing I was doing before.
He's like, I have an undefeated record. I'm not trying to tarnish that.
Right away, go ahead and put the same exact thing that I was doing. Scott left and went to Cincinnati. Yeah, I was just wondering if anything else. Josh and I didn't know if you want to have another role. Like, nah, I'm cool. Great conversation. Spoke about some of the other staff members that were still in the building, in which one of the guys in particular I want to speak about, give him his roses, and that's Josh Thompson. He wasn't retained, and I felt like, and I pleaded with Jeff, and I understood, I understand that they already have all the guys that he's used to working with, and guys are isolated in certain position, but I felt as if he was one. If anybody that can be retained, it's him. And unfortunately, it didn't work. They went through the whole process and then realized they couldn't keep him because he's super valuable. And I think him actually staying back would have been it would have been belittling him a little because they would have actually reducing his role. And this guy was a director of operation. When I tell you, this brother did everything in the building, kept the light on over at Cardinal Stadium. He did that. And I pray and hope that he latches on somewhere very soon, which I know he will. A guy like that is needed at every university. That brother was special. But we spoke about all the staff members, got into some of the players, and but it was pretty cool. But I was like, nah, I'm pretty cool, man. You can just shift me right back downstairs. I'm fine with that.
You've only been attached just a short while, but what's your early thoughts of the new regime?
Yeah,
the Jeff Brown regime.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just excited as the fans are, just to see. I want to believe and think that Coach Brown falls up under that umbrella back in the days when I was at UofL with Coach Petrino. We were more like a, air attack team. Right? You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Fans are used to seeing that, and we somehow got out of that for years now. We went through a couple phases. Petrino was here putting up 30, 40 points a game. Listen, you got to put butts in those things.
Right.
Okay? The only way you do that, you have to bring a lot. And I'm not knocking any of the coaches, but I know what it looks like when it's done this way. Mm-hmm. There was games back in the past where it may be 49-48, but the state pulled out. You no defense at all. No, okay? But you better believe there's a bunch of points being put up. And the fans, people want to see touch. The city of Louisville, the state of Kentucky, they don't want to sit around and watch guys. We running the ball, da-da-da. I'm going to be honest, they really don't care nothing about the defense, to be honest, either. But if you're going touchdown, the only thing that matters, that train going off inside that stadium. Kid know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what they want to see. But back in the day, Coach Petrino was one of those guys who did that. And then we went through that phase with Coach Strong. Great run, great era, amazing era. And then drop-offs after that. Mm-hmm. And we had the Craig Thorpe, nothing against the coach, but just the brand of football just wasn't here. Right. And, Petrino came back, brought the excitement back, but kind of like still with some of the hangover from off the field issues per se.
Right. Put it nicely.
Yeah, for sure. Off the field.
Yes, you definitely got the coach speak down, bro. It's really good.
And then Coach Satterfield brought a lot of energy, who redirected a lot of things for these young men on the field, coming off of Coach Petrino's situation. And then it was a 1-year hit. And then after that, it was like, okay. And the fans were like, all right, we're tired of this. Mm-hmm. And so now I think they feel and see that we have a hometown kid, a guy who went to play ball here, understand that. And he's a offensive-minded guy to the likings of what these fans want to see. And I think the things that he did at Purdue, and I'm gonna say this biasly, I want to believe that we have way better players than I don't want to say way better, but better players than Purdue. And you take his coaching, his scheme, and you add it with our guys, I think this would be something special.
Oh yeah, because if you saw his offenses at WKU, I mean, a pass could come from anywhere. I mean, you watched WKU last night. I mean, they threw a wide receiver screen, and he threw a 27-yard touchdown pass on a rope. That's the kind of stuff Jeff does all the time. He'll do that on a punt.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, and I think this is what the fans are. I think they want to see. They're super charged up. I mean, what they said over 24 hours, it was 750,000.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, the press conference alone. I mean, Deion, you wasn't there.
Yeah,
but it was like 500 people at the press conference.
Wow.
Alone.
Right.
3/4 $1 in ticket sale already. That's probably the rest of the seats that were empty. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You won't be able to see the Adidas logo up in the end zone anymore.
I was on the young man behind during the entire season. They were always and you think the game gonna be sold out? I said, I don't know. You guys control that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pick off the game against Syracuse. We come back and beat Central Florida in a nail biter. You come home, we play our first game, great crowd versus Florida State. We had the game won, you guys lose. Okay, fellas, we start the season off 1-3. I mean 1-2. What you want the fans to do, bro? These people, they hard earn money on buying a $100 ticket to bring a family of 4 to come to a game to watch you play. That's $400 on top of spending for food and all. They cap out at $600 at a game, and you guys out here playing around on the football field. Mm-hmm. So what you want them to do, man? You kind of get what I'm saying? It's like these guys, oh man, it need to be sold out every week. Why? You guys went 6-6 last year, and you lost to Air Force. Sorry. Hey, help me understand that, Charlie.
No.
Like what we talking about?
I mean, it's that's just the mindset. But everyone wants to have people in the stands, but they have to understand that they have to work to get people in the stands.
It's not just.
I'm curious. Yeah, I mean that's anything. You have to put the time and energy into, because people support, good quality anything.
Correct.
They'll support that. If they see you out there competing and working hard and
right
and those types of things. I'm just curious to know. I know that we just had early signing day on yesterday, and I know we're talking about Coach Braum and excitement from an offensive standpoint.
Right.
And we all know this. Who's pulling the trigger? Like, we can talk about great offensive minds and all of that, but when it's all said and done, who's going to be the quarterback, and who do they feel comfortable being able to run that system?
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, Charlie, you get me real early. Hey, I'm gonna speak from a fan's point of view until I get in here and see who's actually what. But I will say this: we do know Brock Dolman is returning. Okay, we have this young freshman Caleb, who's a real good player. Alabama won the state championship and everything. He was a early enrollee last year as a freshman. He's returning. He'll be a redshirt freshman at that because he didn't play at all. We got plenty walk-ons, excluding those guys right now. We're looking at Brock, Caleb, and then now you bring in with the signing of the high school
Pierce Clark.
Pierce Clark.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we all know this right here. You can't go into a season banking or thinking that this freshman is going to be your starting quarterback.
Right.
And at the same time, Brock hasn't actually played a full season, but he has came in sparingly and done some good things for the program and kept our offense intact. The thing with Caleb, he was never truly developed at all. So here it is, you're almost looking at Caleb and Pierce Clarkson trying to develop these guys in the midst of Brock being the one going into spring ball and into training camp. Now, we do know we have to go in the portal. So these are the times that transfer portal is good.
Mm-hmm.
These are the times right here where transfer portal should be used, not just for the hell of it. For guys, just because you're not playing, I'm going in the portal. No, fellas. Ride this out. Trust the process. Don't just quit. Don't be dumping quick just because. We have to go into the portal and get a quarterback. We have to. That'll be, and to be honest, we probably can stand the right to do it, get 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that may be a little too aggressive because right away that's letting Brock know if we go and get 2 quarterbacks in the portal, that's letting him know right now we don't trust him.
Right.
But
just make sure you please don't go get King Slovis.
Yeah, please. Yeah, listen. Don't get Kenny Slovis. Let's just go ahead and put that out there right now.
Who is that?
That's the kid from
Pitt's quarterback last year.
Don't do that. We've had multiple discussions here, and we have decided definitively that ain't the answer.
Or JT Daniels.
Or JT Daniels. You don't need that as well.
Or Daniel, do y'all have in mind that y'all may think of like, man, you know what? I think this kid.
Well, JT Daniels is about your age, Deion.
Yeah, we got a couple guys on the team. My age.
We'll send your list. We'll text your list. Don't worry about it.
They don't need bench training, and then they got COVID years. I'm like, bro, you got another year?
Drawing a pension.
These kids are using the Elliott Perry strategy of graduation. This is amazing to me.
Man, like, bro, how long you want to stay in college?
Like, what are we doing here?
This is crazy. But yeah, I believe that we do have to find that quarterback. You know, they have to figure out who this guy is, which one of these guys is going to lead the team. I really believe that if it's going to be competition, let's say, just if you ask me right now, Brock will go into this season, go into the spring as a starter. That's I think it's his job to lose.
Right.
Now, I just want to ask you, how strange was it coaching on that sideline when Cincinnati's on the same sideline?
Oh, man.
That was I was going to ask you about the Fenway Park experience. Like, what was, with all due respect to Wasabi, I get it.
Correct.
But my God, that was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. You know, the crazy part, man, being up under Coach Belichick, I had these guys prepared for. We have been practicing the past 2 weeks like this. I had the guys on the side, I had the defense on one end, the offense on one end. And as crazy as it was, we didn't miss a beat. We didn't miss a beat, and I want to believe Coach Coombs had his guys doing it too. The only thing we had to get together and agree on is, like, say, for instance, if we're on the right end, if they are driving, our defense is down here, we're fine. But if your offense is sub and they got to run 65 yards to get to the what we need to do is have our guys back up on the sideline. You just come directly off the field and run up our sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We had to agree on that and make sure that these guys understood it was a rivalry game.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Like, a lot of times if UK was the access to do that, that would not happen.
No.
Figure out how to sub on your own. Like, we're not letting guys run by. But we somehow, it worked. I think early on in the game, Cincinnati tried to come out and establish their little dominance over us. Like, fellas, please stop. It's not going to work. You got the Debo, nobody on the team. So I think once they understood, like, okay, we can't do this to these guys. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It was pretty cool. It worked well.
That's all.
We had a great time.
Charlie, could you imagine Pittsburgh last year having to go 65 yards to get to play in?
Oh God. They don't ever have enough poster boards.
No. That would have been a long run from 20 to the other 30 to get to play.
They got to delay a game every time they got in the red zone.
Deion, I know we gotta get you out of here, but I gotta ask you this question because it wouldn't be fair to everybody listening to this show to have a Patriot legend on here and not asking this question. What are your thoughts about your guy right now and the season? Well, two thoughts. The game that we just saw this past weekend.
Yeah.
We got to ask you about that, and then we got to ask you about your guy Tom.
Yeah.
And the season that he's having.
So are both of these questions about Tom, or one is about the Patriots?
Well, let's do the Patriot one first, because that game.
Hold on.
The Shaq and the Fool Player of the Year.
Yeah, let's just be specific about that, dude. It's not even the Patriots. The last play.
Right, the last play. There you go. Yeah. I gotta ask you that.
You know, like I know. You know, Jacoby was trying to make a play. Now, what happened? What happened?
What play was he trying to make? Is that in the play?
Hey, you know how they got this little goofy stuff. I guarantee you nobody else will run that goofy play at the end of the game ever again. Just because of that one time. And I guarantee you, Bill has put up an example of guys trying to do too much. He has done that. I'm sure he's done it. I know he did it with us. So I know Jacoby has seen that. I don't know what Jacoby was thinking. Why would you throw the ball to the quarterback? Hit all people anyway. Now, any of these guys pick the ball to a line, bro, stop. If it's not a skill guy besides you, don't throw the ball to not a line nor a quarterback. Like, don't. And he had plenty time to process that. He was looking at it. But I don't know how Chandler was blending in on the football field with this black jersey. Who is he blended in with? Bro, you threw the ball. Hope is my guy. And I love how he handled himself in the post game.
Yeah.
Like
hold on. What did he say?
Oh, it was all him. And like there's nothing else to say.
He owned it?
He owned it.
Well, that's good. That's where you get people off your back.
That's what they tried their best to kind of get him. Hey, Jacoby, we know you didn't do this, but why this happened? And he looked at each and every last one of the reporters like, bro, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me. Nobody else did this. I did it. I tried to throw it to Mac. And guess what? I guarantee you, Bill gonna tell Matt Patricia, we done with those end of the game plays.
Yeah, that's all right.
All this pitching around and all this goofy stuff, trying to keep the game alive. Look, fellas, the play started on their 35-40.
Had a nice run.
Yeah, had a nice run.
Yeah. Real nice.
I'm on the clock anyway.
Yeah.
Going to overtime. Like that shocked me that Bill even okayed that. As if they were going to.
I don't think Bill did.
No, he's listening to them on the headset, kid.
But I don't think any of the coaches did they? I think that just was a player thing.
Christian called, he set the play in. This is the end.
So this was on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, there is a reason why Matt is back with the Patriots as opposed to his previous job that he had. There's a reason.
I don't understand why Matt's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, now that is the part that's kind of
well, because the other option is Joe Judge.
That ain't
and being a Giants fan, I know what that's like.
Joe was my neighbor. Matt Patricia is my dude.
Wow.
It's one thing that I do question, and then I wrap this up with these guys. For one, the play was crazy. Bill could have actually vetoed the play. He heard the play call go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could have easily shut that down. I don't know what he was thinking, why he thought that it was going to gain 40 yards in about, how many seconds was it? Like 18, 19 seconds.
Right.
To even kick a field goal after they did all this bananas running around with the ball. Like, I just don't see it. That's one thing. As far as Matt being one thing I do question with Coach Belichick, he surrounds himself with the right guys. He have a bunch of smart guys.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, sometimes this is kind of overdoing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he have plenty offensive-minded guys on the team right now. But for you to plug, Matt is a good, smart guy. But this guy been on the defense side of the ball his whole career.
Right.
And then you just throw him on the offense side. Like, the mentality is totally different. Like, the game prior to the one they played against Vegas, it was a home game. They ran like 14, 15 screens. That was shocking. I'm just sitting there counting all the screens. I'm like, bro, it has to be. It was against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like, we got to have more plays than these plays that we're running.
Mm-hmm.
So as a player, that goes back. Is the personnel intact, though?
Yeah.
You kind of understand?
Right.
Are the receivers intact? Do they trust these guys? Charlie, do you trust your wideouts? It's like They ran 2 receiver screens as if these guys can't get open down the field.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a play there as well, but Kendrick, I do question the offensive schemes and stuff, the things that they're doing, because this is nothing like what we've ran in the past. And even after my days with Charlie Weiss, and then we shifted to Coach McDaniels. This isn't McDaniels stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on.
I couldn't see that being in that play being in anybody's playbook.
Yeah,
I'm trying to picture a scenario, Deion, where you running down the field and you look back and you see Tom, and you know what? I'm gonna throw it to Tom.
Hey, that play, who he's throwing it to is not in the playbook, but I'll give you every team. Louisville practiced this. We practiced this on a Friday during the walkthrough.
Hold on. You practice this when you're down or when you're tied?
Tied.
No, correct. There you go. It is correct.
Okay.
That's baffling to me. How did Bill allow them to run this play with the amount of time that was left on the clock, knowing that we can go into overtime and we're fine?
Yeah,
We've always been the best situational football team in the NFL. I pride myself on that. That was crazy to me. I just didn't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. My last question is, your guy, is it time?
Hey, Deion, hold on. Deion, could you please call your boy Tom?
I'm just saying, it feels like,
and just tell him it's time to move on.
it feels like, I mean, Deion, it feels like it's time.
No. Let's go on and nip it in the bud. Deion, please call your boy Tom.
Because Deion,
and tell him it's time.
Because Deion, if he goes to that big walk-in closet in his house, I'm sure there's a manila envelope with a $375 million contract sitting right there. I mean, he doesn't have to do this. This is.
Hey, my guy don't even want the $34 million a year right now. I want another Super Bowl right now.
I guess so, man.
I think it's time. I understand. And here's the thing: you never want greatness to kind of walk out, leave the game like this,
right?
And when we do talk, we don't talk about no football, man. It's just all family. You know, I respect my guy for going out. But I always tell him in closing, like, Tom, I don't know who you battling with right now. I don't listen, man. You're the greatest. I don't know who you battling with. He's my guy. Look, it wouldn't shock me if Tom came one more season.
No, wouldn't surprise anybody. I don't think there's a person on earth that would be surprised if he came back next year.
I mean, I'm telling you, with the with the situation that don't went out and happened, I think this may actually shift him towards, because I'm sure Tom is a family guy, and I know so used to having his kids all the time, his wife and his kids, and with all that family stuff, we'll leave that. But I'm sure he would probably like, you know what, this is it. I'm going to be with my family. That's the end of this mess. I'm cool, especially with the way the guys are playing. Because I don't foresee these guys making a run in the playoffs. Let's just be honest.
No.
If they make it, okay.
I mean, if that division wasn't so god awful, they wouldn't make it. But.
Correct.
Right.
But clearly, see, they may be one and done. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's my thing. But hey, man, you got a chance. You got Tom. You always have a chance.
I mean,
I'm a Cowboys fan, and right now Dallas would play Tampa at Tampa in that first week of the playoffs, and I would probably bet Tampa.
Much over.
I would bet Tampa.
I mean, listen, you can't ever count him out. That's for sure. But
with all going on in Dallas, I just don't see Tampa beating Dallas. No.
Let me tell you something. As a long-suffering Cowboys fan, anything can happen. They can lose. Dallas can lose to anybody.
Right.
Right. Dallas could have lost to y'all in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Y'all crazy.
Speaking of my last thing is but the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Deion, that trophy.
Yeah.
It looks like a pizza box.
Hey. Hey, bro, the only thing I will say, when the kids handed it to me, I was like, Jesus, this thing heavy.
Was it heavy? Was it really heavy?
Heavy. Everything.
Wow.
It was just unexpected to be
Right.
over 65, 75 pounds. I mean, you know, I'm holding up. I'm like, hold on, bro.
What?
The kids,
Was it a picture? Was it a replica of Fenway Park? What was it? I was trying to figure out what it was.
I think so, Lord. There was so much going on. I really didn't have time to kind of just really.
Okay, because I didn't. I was like, what is this thing?
Well,
Like,
flash that picture again, Lloyd.
Hey, yeah.
It's up there in the corner. Deion trying to hold it.
You see, I got all the guys holding it. Like, hey, everybody grab this. They talking about, hold up.
Everybody grab it.
This ain't happy. Grab this up here. They just put they built all kind of stuff together and made this constructed.
Now, shout out to Wasabi who probably at the last minute realized, oh my God, we don't have a trophy. Quick, somebody make a trophy.
There was a point where they just had the trophy sitting by itself out in left field.
Like it was in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere.
There was nobody around it. It was just sitting there.
But this is their first ever bowl, right? Like this is not.
This is the first time they've pulled
Right.
it off.
So we're gonna cut them some slack because they still trying to figure some things out. Like
the week was great. They put on a phenomenal week for us. I mean, we got there Tuesday, man. We had a blast. I mean, they had everything was great.
Yeah, I saw y'all's pictures on social media. I saw you peeking your head through the scoreboard out at Fenway Park.
Oh, yeah. Great time, man. The tour and everything they gave us, man, was unbelievable. I mean, trust me, everything was great. The game, everything went the way it was supposed to. Let alone at the end of the day, we couldn't return Saturday after the game because
y'all got stuck. Yeah,
messed up. And we just kept the party going in Boston Saturday night, man. It was amazing. Great.
Awesome. Must be nice to be a winning college football coach and your football coach is Deion Branch, who, oh, by the way, is a Super Bowl MVP in that city. That probably worked out well.
I'd imagine you got into some doors that me and Lloyd couldn't get into.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Y'all with me, bro. You good, baby? I just good. The whole open up. Like, bring the guys. Come on, man. They had a great time, though. I took, make sure my young man had a good time. For the guys that stayed back, there was about 40 or so that left and went home with their parents and stuff, which was good. Charlie, it's hard to kind of get a team to stay after a game in a hotel and contain all these young men.
Right.
Went out, had fun. I sent out a text after the game, Kendrick. I said, hey, fellas, curfew tonight is at 12:30. It doesn't matter. That the first thing came back, lies. Lies. It's over. I've done everything. Lies. I'll see you in the morning, brother. That's how
Wow. So they ripped the interim tag away from you as quickly as they gave it to you.
Man, that down, bro. The game is over. You back to Unk now, bro.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, we up, man. I'm so happy for you, man. This is one of the greatest stories to me of the college football season, and I'm thrilled that you got an opportunity to do that. I don't know if it's going to wet your palate. It sounds like you got your feel and you're good, but maybe we'll see you back out there again, man.
Man, I appreciate you, fellas. I did tell the guys that I didn't foresee myself thinking or having the feeling or the thoughts of but I also did leave that little window open because I didn't want to close it. I said I'll wait and see how I feel Saturday. You get what I'm saying? That those 2 weeks that I had with these young men and just watching these guys just buy into everything that I asked of them, all the coaches doing the exact same thing, helping keeping these guys locked in. I told my wife, I said, I can see myself doing this when my youngest daughter graduates, if I'm not aligning myself to become an AD at some point. I can see that. And I also told the people at the conference last night that once Coach Brown tenured is over, if I'm still around, guys next head coach if the opportunity. They went crazy, but I think overall, Lord, man, the beginning of the story started January the 18th. It couldn't have been no. It was something that I had been begging for, to go back and work with my institution and help these young men, and it ended exactly how it was supposed to. You kind of, and so it came.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't get the opportunity to kind of say that it started great and it ended amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
You know, I'm thankful for that.
So, what does the real boss in the Branch household say about you having this coaching itch all of a sudden?
Oh, she's fine with it. Her biggest thing is like, and she just spoke about like, Deion, I know you've been saying no to all this. You gotta really sit back and see it from a fan's lens and look at how happy all these guys were, even with all the turmoil that was going on around them. Like, it's only certain people that can get this out of these guys, and you know, be thankful that you're one of them. Because you know, my thing is, there's so many individuals that are spearheading a lot of these programs who are just there just because they go in and do and have slick their hair back and have a great interview.
Yeah.
So many individuals who are extra qualified to be in that role, but they will not get that opportunity because of they don't know the who's.
Right.
It's so bad. And then you got to realize the type of kids you're bringing to a program. They want somebody that looks like them. It's imperative that we change the landscape of how you bringing all these minorities in, but you don't have a minority running your program. You kind of, and I'm not knocking nobody, but it's a little different when these parents and their siblings and these young men see the individual at the helm that looks like them, that understand that walk and that talk. You get way more out of these guys. I'm telling you, it's just totally different. And I'm not saying that this person can't do or run the program or that person. I'm never saying that, but I do notice what I'm saying. A lot of these programs are filled with a whole bunch of minorities, but there's others at the helms, and it's a hard fitting. Yeah. And trust me, a lot of those guys are just at the helm just because. They're not the right guys. You know, we have the right guy here at the helm. You know, Coach Satterfield was the right guy here. I didn't speak on that. I wouldn't say that for other programs. There's certain guys that like they'll never get because of all this other stuff going on around them. You know, so I just pray and hope that a lot of things change. I mean, not only we sitting on the college landscape thing, we're sitting in the NFL as well.
Absolutely.
Same. You know, I hope we break that barrier, and I hope these NCAA and the NFL, all these guys kind of like give this equal opportunity for others, you know, to give them a chance as well.
Well, I don't know if you saw this earlier, but I think that Alicia Dunlap sums up what a lot of people are feeling and what even we're feeling. Man, thank you for taking care of those student athletes, man. Yeah. And shout out to Josh he for sticking to his guns and getting his guy.
It's without a doubt, man. It's truly an honor, man, just to be back at my alma mater. Just as if any former player, man. I'm sure all my teammates, my former teammates, these guys texting and calling, like, bro, hey, I'll come in and help you coach. I help you do this and help you do that. I'm like, yo, you do know it's a protocol that you have to follow. Right. It's not
just can't show up,
bro. It don't work that way. 60 text messages from all my former. I come in and help you with a D-line coach. Bro, you forgot this thing said interim. This just
he's like, hey man, this is Vince. Yeah. What you doing, man?
The offensive line, cuz I got you. All the homies, all my homies on the streets, they played football with on the streets back in the day. Hey, not you. If I did need one,
that is hilarious.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? I can't. You don't have not one college degree, not one. In order for you to do anything, you have to have a degree.
Starts with that.
And then you hit them, and then they be like, hold on, bro. So I played 12, 15 years in the league. That don't count.
That's really how it works.
Yeah, he was like, oh, damn, man, I thought I could come and coach, bro. My dog got the job. No, bro.
What you tell him, Deion? It's not Little League.
No.
Right.
They think we're outside just picking guys up off Charlie. Like, hey, since your boy, he's the head coach now, all the homies calling. Bro, I come in, I'll be your assistant. Hey, fam, it don't work like that. This is an institution, okay? You know, this is not high school. You know, high school, we can do that all day. You can bring...
Right.
Right.
You can coach like you playing Madden in high school.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? All the homies on the streets be coaches in high school. It's Georgia.
Hey, you roll up to a more high school game, you don't see anybody on the sideline.
That is hilarious.
All the uncles and everything on the sideline got a headset on, bro. 35 headsets, and you only got 10, 15 positions in football.
Shout out to the Albany, Georgia crew for checking in, though. Shout out to them. Because they had to check in at least, just to see. You never know.
Hey, man,
they boy doesn't come up. I get it.
Yes,
hold on. Deion, where you from?
Albany, Georgia, baby.
You from Albany?
Charlie, I'm right up the street, man, when you was over at Central.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, which high school did you go to?
I went to Monroe. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
There's a couple of Georgia boys cutting it up.
Man, we stay cutting up, man. I'm telling you. Trust me.
That's cool.
My text messages, y'all will be like, bro, every dude from Georgia text you back.
Hilarious. That's so hilarious. That's so hilarious. That's just so funny to me.
That's the beauty.
Oh, my goodness.
About that whole week when I got hired, man, I easily had like 1,000 texts that I haven't opened. 500 all my homies.
That's right.
It was continuous texts. Hey, bro, I'm coming in, seeing. And then I never replied. He may hit back, one of my partners hit back 8 times. Hey, bro, you about that job opportunity yet?
Yeah.
Put me on, bro.
When one of us make it, we all make it.
Like, that's it. That's how it is. I'm telling you. Charlie know that. You know what time it is, Jordan. Hey, you making it, we all making it, bro. One of the dudes want to come straight off of Amazon line. Like, I'll leave Amazon. Hey, D, I will leave right now. I said, bro, you almost about to get your pension from Amazon.
There you go. Like, bro, just sit tight. You're good.
Bezos ain't playing that.
Right. 19 years. You got one more year, fam.
I'm just saying, you put in the time. I think you should probably be here 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Lord, you want to coach with me for 2 weeks? You about to give up all this? Your pension.
I just need a shot, baby. That's all. I just need to get my foot in the door.
Man, they try to brother.
I get it, man. I get it.
My homeboys alone, man. Y'all stop.
I get it. We listen. We can do this all day, but I know we gotta let you go.
All right.
Man, thank you so much for pulling up, man.
Enjoyed it.
My God, we have a good time every single time. It's just so fun.
Appreciate you, fellas, man.
So fun. You all, and listen, man. You welcome here anytime, man. Whenever you want, just pull up.
Right.
Y'all let me know, man. I'll tell Kendrick, man. Hey, we'll kick it off probably spring. I'll give you guys some little insight on what's going on, man.
Oh, spring. Oh, yeah, because we're actually gonna have a spring game again. How about that?
Yeah. Sure.
I haven't had a real spring game in 5 years.
Yeah.
Hey, great.
All right. I guess Satterfield didn't believe in spring games. It was very strange.
Charlie, you want to give a shout out real quick before we get out of here?
We just shout out Deion for being home today. This is pretty fun.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you, brothers, man. Thank you, brothers, man. Anytime, man.
I think I'm going to echo Charlie and give mine to Deion as well.
This is a unanimous.
Yeah.
Nothing else needs to be said. Again, shout out to the homies in Albany. We love y'all, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all the most. Definitely.
Hey, shout out all my coaches, man. They hit me up, man. I'm sorry I couldn't get you guys. Hey, maybe next time, baby.
That 2 week window. Oh my God. That's so funny. Listen. I can't even breathe. You guys, this has been a phenomenal show. You have been listening to the Believe the ACC. We will see you guys after the holiday. We're gonna take a little break, come back after the holidays. But y'all enjoy. This is the perfect way to go into the holidays for sure.
Yes, it is. The gift of Deion Branch.
Yeah, absolutely. We will see y'all after the holidays. See y'all back in January. We'll holler at you.
All right, fellas.
You've been listening to Believe in the ACC with Charlie Ward, Lloyd Spence, and Kendrick Haskins. Please like, follow, subscribe, and share from the Noisemakers page on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and wherever podcasts can be heard. And join us